I just had a couple of pretty bad meltdowns, and there's something that your parents out there need to know. You can say you know everything about autism, but unless you are autistic yourself, you do not know what it feels like to be autistic. And the experience of a meltdown for you as an observer is never going to be the same as being the person who's having it. And you need to realize that, and you need to understand that. When you're autistic, this is not every autistic person, but this is my experience, is that emotions are extremely intense and extremely difficult to control. I could do something like on my iPad with an app that I've done a million times, and then the app updates. And the first time I push the button that makes it do the thing, and it doesn't do the thing anymore. And so I might push it a couple times because, extinction response. And I can't figure out what's gone wrong or why it's different, And so instead of exploring a bit, which I might do if I don't care, but if I'm trying to get something done and I thought I had plenty of time, and now I'm wasting all the time trying to do this one freaking little thing, I just go off. And to me, anger is not just a little heat. To me, anger feels like a bomb going off in my chest. It's painful. It's a physically painful emotion for me to be angry. I have to release that energy because, if I'm not allowed my moment of, what the effing heck, what's going on with this? I'm not allowed my screaming and crying and whatever, I'd probably die. Just from the pressure of holding it in would probably just squeeze all my blood vessels and just kill me on the spot. And a meltdown is even worse than that. A meltdown feels like there's nails pounding on all your nerve endings. It feels like there's explosives going off inside of you. It feels like your skin is trying to blow off and your bones are trying to suck it down. And something even further inside of you is trying to burst out. And when you finally reach that point of no return where you blow off and the meltdown is starting and it's happening, it feels as good as it feels bad, because there's the relief of, oh God, the energy is getting out, it's happening, it's coming out, but at the same time it comes out so violently that it's painful. It's like every emotion you've ever felt is erupting all at once, and your body is too small of a portal for it to come through, so it's distorting the boundaries of your body, and it's painful. It's like your skin is being blown off, and it's like your bones are being blown to splinters. It's like your muscles are being crushed into paste. And in the middle of it, there you are, feeling like you're about to die, and then you don't. And you're just in the middle. You're just this neutron star in the middle of all this chaos that's blowing off of you because you've just gone supernova, and there's all this stellar debris, and you're in the middle collapsing. And maybe you turn into a black hole and everything is just falling back in, and you blow it out again, and it falls back in, and you blow it out again. It could be a cycle of 3 or 4 meltdowns before it's all gone, and before all that energy is released, and then you relax. Okay, I'm just gonna be crude about this, alright? because I'm a 40-year-old adult, and a lot of people that watch me are adults. As good as an orgasm feels, a meltdown feels as bad. Okay, if you put an orgasm on one end of the spectrum, a meltdown would be on the other. And then you take a panic attack and you put it on a branch way off over here in its own direction, because a panic attack is its own thing. You know, panic attack is worse than a meltdown, but orgasm and meltdown are kind of on the same ruler in my mind. Because as good as an orgasm feels, you know, when you get to the edge and you're just gasping for air, and then you go over and you're just feel that feeling go through your body, you know, and your muscles are twitching and you're just like, you're in another state of existence. And then you come down and you feel tingly and you feel good and you feel warm and you relax. Or if you're me, you just do it again and you have 3 or 4 of them. But a meltdown is very similar in the sense that there's a buildup, but it's not pleasant, it's not enjoyable, and you don't want to have it. But eventually you don't have a choice, and you just do. And you blow off of that edge, and you feel like complete crap. And when it's over and you relax and you let your breath out, because you're probably trying to catch it, and that's the first time you've caught it since it started, you don't feel very good. You're not tingling in a very nice way. You're exhausted. You're sore. And you can't think, and you don't want to see another human being for the rest of your life. You know, and then in a panic attack, you just feel like you're going to die, and you keep feeling like you're going to die, and it's like you're dying over and over and over again, but you're not quite dead. And it's like the next moment it's going to be over, but it never is. And then you breathe again, and all of a sudden the walls move away again, and it's like, here you are. But I had a meltdown tonight where I'm pretty sure I dissociated, because when it started, it's like I wasn't there. It's like my body was not being moved by me. And I hit myself somewhere very unmentionable, and it hurts to pee. And I wasn't aiming there. I hit my legs too. I didn't hit my head, but I hit my legs and I hit my torso. And it's just, I am in a lot of pain right now. And it was a nightmarish meltdown, and parents who don't go through it don't get it. You know, parents who are not autistic and don't feel a meltdown the way autistic people do, you cannot understand what a meltdown feels like. You can understand what it's like to see someone go through it, but it's not your meltdown. You're not the one having it. It's not your experience. And you need to learn to separate that. Because your kid is their whole other person. They're not an extension of you, okay? They're not your third arm. They're a whole other human being. And they're going through hell when they're having a meltdown. They're having a bad, hard, difficult time. And it's not something that they're doing to you. They're not trying to ruin your day. Their day's been ruined. You know, their day, their experience has been ruined by the meltdown. You know, and it could be anybody's fault. It could be your fault. It could just be the situation was just too much. But meltdowns are not fun, and if I could choose not to have one, I would choose not to have one, but it's not a choice. A temper tantrum will pretty much calm down and stop once you give in, or you ignore it so much that the kid realizes it's not going to work. Then they'll stop. A meltdown is just going to keep on going until it decides it's over. Until the stress response decides that it's done being a stress response. But parents, you got to understand that. As an autistic adult who is 40 years old and who has had so many meltdowns in her life, I'm far more experienced in having them than you are with dealing with them. You know, unless your kid is older than me, then maybe you have more experience in dealing with them. But I have the experience in having them. And the feeling is not the same as seeing it. Learn that difference.